Do you feel the vibes?
What's up, YouTube? It's Carolina Calvin. Come back to another video. In this video, I actually went back and watched Super Bowl 51 again. Of course, between the Atlanta Falcons and New England Patriots. And I'm not necessarily going to break down, the entirety of the game. I just wanted to pose a question. Is this the biggest, let's say NFL, the biggest NFL playoff choke job, meltdown, whatever you want to call it, is for the Falcons? It's the biggest one. And seeing as they blew the biggest lead in Super Bowl history, because at one point in the game they led by 25, I'll have to say yes. At least in recent memory, and of course, being that, of course, they blew a record 25, being up 25 points. In terms of sports history, no, I would say the Golden State Warriors was still worse. You're talking about a team that won, the best record of all time, and they were already up 3-1. So you had 3 straight games. You can make 2 mistakes and still win. You lost 3 straight games. So I still think that's worse because the margin of error was much, I guess in terms, smaller for them. Oh, I mean larger. I'm sorry. But this is definitely up there, even in terms of sports history, but definitely for the NFL. And a lot of people throwing blame at, the different things, such as Atlanta's coaching. Most of it goes to the defense, for even giving up 31 straight points, pretty much. And you see some people talk about the offense. Now, looking back at that game, first 3 quarters played well. First 3 quarters they played well. That's where pretty much all the 28 points came. Fourth quarter they didn't score any points. Had opportunities, but mistakes down the stretch pretty much doomed most of their drives. Looking at it, yes, defense deserves some blame just for the fact that, of course, they were giving up the yards, they were giving up the points, but also the coaching staff. You kind of tell. You look at the first half, and of course they're not going to fly around with the same energy, but just look at the defense they're playing. They switched to more like a prevent zone. There were plays they were rushing. They were rushing only 3 instead of 4, and you could see guys were starting to tire out because the Patriots had the ball for a very long time, 30 plus minutes, compared to about 20 for the Falcons. So time possession for the Patriots definitely was a factor in terms of the guys' fatigue on that Falcons defense. Still a young defense, inexperienced guys. And they played well for 3 quarters. You have to give them credit for that. But the fourth quarter is when they fell apart. And I think the play calling, of course, also with the inability to make plays, a bunch of penalties. They got hit with a bunch of holding penalties. There was a pass interference penalty at the end of the game that pretty much, to me, ended the game. But it was not just the defense. Offensively, the play calling. There were plays where they should have been aggressive, and it just didn't seem like they were. They weren't running some of the same formations that you've seen them run through the playoffs, throughout most of the regular season. They weren't running these formations, and and when times when I thought they should have ran the ball, and then the Patriots really started to clamp down defensively, especially against that run, because they were beating them really bad on the outside. When they bounced, Devontae Freeman bounced to the outside, he was beating them really bad. But the Patriots adjusted, as you knew they would. They adjusted, and guys were able, they were able to really mitigate those yards when the running back bounced it to the outside. But offensively, you saw that they went conservative. You saw it through the third quarter. You saw it through the fourth quarter. Even when given great field position. Then the play calling was a bit weird. The play, which I think was a huge deal, Matt Ryan took a sack. Shouldn't have took a sack. You essentially take yourself out of field goal range. You got to throw the ball away. And Matt Ryan's not a fast guy. Taking that sack. Then on the next play, it's still a 53-yard field goal. It's still a 53-yard field goal. And what do? To me, I thought that they should have did like a delayed handoff to try to get some of those yards back. The Patriots going to play the pass. You could get about 4 or 5 yards. You get about 4 or 5 yards and make it a manageable kick. You go up 31-20 with burning time. I don't think the Patriots win. The way they were moving the ball, but I don't think the Patriots win. I think that would have been a little bit too much because at that time it was about 5 minutes to go, and you go up 31-20. It forces the Patriots, of course, go down and score. Then, of course, the 2-point conversion, and then they have to get the ball back and kick a field goal to even just tie the game. So it would require them to do way more, and that's how much a big deal a field goal would have been. So coaching, offense, I think, hasn't been taking a lot of blame, but they definitely should. They only scored 7 points in the second half. They scored 14 in the first half. One of their scores was a Brady pick six. But that second half, you look at the numbers, top 10, statistic-wise offense of all time. At least the last time I checked it. I could be wrong, but I remember seeing it was top 10. So there's no excuse for them to score 7 points in the second half. The offense is the strength of that Atlanta Falcons team. The defense, I thought, they played well. A lot of people, look at, Brady threw 400-some yards. Most of that came in the fourth quarter when they were tired. You go look at that first half, they played well. Even the third quarter. What really turned that game around for the Patriots was that strip fumble on a missed block, another mistake by the Atlanta Falcons. All these mistakes they were making in that second half really doomed them. And yes, like I said, biggest choke in NFL history, at least when we're talking about the postseason. They had that game. You had Patriots fans on Twitter who pretty much thought the game was over. Not only do you see Patriots fans do that. That's how much the Falcons were in control of the game. But we all saw they blew that game, but there was so many factors. Like I said, coaching, offense, execution, and defense. Defense was out there on the field too long. The play calling for the defense was awful. You got to stay aggressive. And you can clearly see they just backed off. Let them get the short yardage stuff, which the Patriots are more than happy to take. And you saw the short yardage stuff started to turn into bigger games as that defense stayed out on the field longer. But let me know what you think down in the comment section. What do you think is the biggest, meltdown / choke job, whatever you want to call it, in NFL sports, NFL history? Like I said, I already think you got a lot of people saying it's worse than the Golden State one. I don't think so, just because Golden State had multiple opportunities. You could say, which guy was up 25, and it wasn't much time left. Golden State had 3 games they could have fucking won. But like I said, let me know what you think down in the comment section. Like this video, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. Thanks for watching.